we're gonna discuss the favorites. Now that all the trades in the NBA are done, we've seen all the moves. Luka's on the Lakers. For y'all that aren't hip, if you've been under a rock, Luka is on the Lakers. Just so you know. But now that all the trades have happened, who do you think is the favorites to come out of each conference? Why don't you start with the West? Because I know for y'all that don't know, Lamont diehard OKC fan. So are you shaking in your boots now, or what? Or is
So
still
the
it's still
reason
up within
why
you?
I am going to say yes, I'm shaking in my boot is because, and special shout out to my good friend Nigel France, who is also a Laker fan. Actually,
Yes, sir.
we talk about the NBA all the time. He's on my 2K Pro Am team,
Oh no.
so shout out to him. But
Oh.
no, but I believe it's sort of like the issue that, and I'm gonna make an NFL comparison. Since we talked about Super Bowl, it's almost like the problem that the Green Bay Packers have faced this season.
Okay.
They're very youthful,
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
you need that vet presence. Now, granted, OKC has Alex Caruso, who was on that championship team in the bubble, and you have Isaiah Hartenstein, who got some years under his belt. But
Mm-hmm.
there's only one person on that team who has championship experience, and that's Alex Caruso, and he's 31 years old.
Yeah.
So you're betting the bank on SGA, J Dub, who is also an All Star. Shout out to him.
Yep.
Chet Holmgren, who is coming back from injury now. I believe he'll be coming. I believe he's coming back today.
That's gonna
He
be
came back
important.
today. So
He's gonna be real big piece
you're
for them.
you're betting the bank on them, and you're sitting on all of these first round picks, second round picks for the next 30 years.
Right.
You know what I
For real
mean?
though.
And I'm just thinking, why not cash in on one of those? Why not make a you know why not make a move to what I'm saying, move the needle? You
You
know what I
think they
mean?
needed a vet guy? Like, would you have wanted to see KD go back?
So, ironically, that was actually the first name I thought about, and a couple episodes ago, it was you, myself, and Chad,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe Chad was the one that mentioned, would I welcome a KD reunion in OKC? And I'm not opposed to it, but I do know what that's going to cost me, and I have to ask myself, am I willing to make that trade to get us to the mountaintop?
I see it, and you're right about the veteran thing. But let me ask you this: if KD would have gone to OKC, who's the best player on OKC now?
I still think it's
That hesitation to me is the problem. That would be the
so.
problem.
So for me, it would still be SGA's team because if you really listen to what KD has said throughout his NFL career, he wasn't meant to be the leader.
You're
He just want to go out there and hoop.
right. Facts.
And you look at this Oklahoma City team now and the way that they're constructed, they all gravitate to SGA.
Yeah, they
You know what
rally
I mean?
around them for
Just
sure. For sure.
they're really like in like a big ass AAU team. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's within the same age group, and then you got Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. You know what
Time
I'm
out.
saying? But
I
at the
am
same,
gonna hold you up on that. Because this is one thing for whatever reason this really bothers me. We need to stop acting like SGA is 23. This man is 27. Like SGA been in the
he
league
is,
for a little brick now. Let's
he
not
is,
act like he's Anthony Edwards' age. Like he's been in the league for a little while now.
and has played around some great players too.
For sure.
So he's seen it. Now, granted, he hasn't seen NBA Finals appearances, but he's been in the postseason for most, if not all, of his career
That's a fact.
so far.
That's
And
a
he's
fact.
playing at a really high level, an MVP level right now. So for me as a fan, it's more so, okay, can you get to that next level in the postseason? Because he's still gonna get his, but who's gonna be that next person to step up for him and be consistent? Is it going to be J Dub? Is it going to be Chet?
I
Is it
think
going
it's
to
gonna
be
be
Isaiah
Chet.
Joe? You know what I'm saying? Can you be that spark that OKC needs? Lou Dort, can you give us 10 to 15 points and also
True.
guard the best player on the other end?
I love what he does for that team, Lou
Me
Dort.
too.
His shot is streaky, but he and speaking just because Luca is on the Lakers, but Lou Dort has given like the top players like Luca the most trouble I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like he is a solid defender, and every once in a while he'll hit a couple threes that'll hurt you. So I really like what he does for that team for sure.
I'll never forget when he gave Houston 30 in the bubble in Game 7, man. Even though we lost,
Yeah,
but still,
I
Game
remember that too.
Game 7 Lewis, what I call him. You
He
know
was
what I
giving
mean? But
James Harden hell. James Harden got a final stop at the end of the game. He was so hyped.
I said, damn, man. So that was it right there.
Yeah, no, it
But
was.
so to give my answer, I believe, and you mentioned this earlier in the show, Dallas has become a bigger threat.
Yeah, no, they have.
And their only issue that they're going to run across, and I mean it's like that with every good team, is health. Can they remain healthy? And I believe if they remain healthy, no injuries, I may put them at no. I may put them as the team to represent the West
Dallas, I like it. I
over
like
my
it.
boys. And it's hurting me to say this, but again, as I've been saying all week, we need that vet wing score. We do. That is the only thing that Oklahoma City is missing right now. They need another vet, preferably a wing scoring vet. If they get that, I believe we get to the finals. But until that happens, this season, at this moment forward, I have Dallas.
That's good news for all of you Dallas fans, because I know Dallas fans are down bad right now. Like they are really punching the air right now. So, like I said, like Lamont said, there's still hope there. And the Laker fan in me wants to be like Lakers in 6. You know what I mean? No matter who it is Lakers in 6. But if I'm being 100% honest, and I'm not just saying this because my boy is here co-hosting with me, I think OKC is the best team in the West too. I
Ooh.
think you got to think they are definitively been the best team all year without their second best player. Like I know J Dub's an all-star and I like J Dub. Chet Holmgren to me healthy is a problem. Like people really don't understand that without Wemby, Chet would be looking unbelievable to people. He would really be looking unbelievable to people if Wemby didn't exist. So I think when Chet comes back healthy, you pair him with J Dub, you pair him with Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, and those guys. You got Hartenstein, and they picked up Daniel Tice, who's another like Hartenstein type player, where you're gonna get a big who's gonna bang in the post, so Chet doesn't have to. He can stretch the floor with the three, and he's a decent enough defender. He's active.
Daniel.
Yeah. I think OKC is still the best team in the West. I don't think that any team can beat OKC in a 7-game series as of today. I don't. I still think OKC is coming out the West this year. I think this is MVP Shea season. I think this is it. I think this is the season where they go to the finals. Will they win it? I remain to leave my opinion on that. Y'all are going to have to check out a later episode. But I do think that OKC is still the best team in the West. After everything we've seen, all the dramatics, all the theatrics, I still think they're the best team. I still think they're the most complete team in the West. I think you should be confident in them boys. But let's talk about the East. Who is the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference, Lamont?
Who won the NBA championship last season?
Them Celtics, the C's.
Okay.
Same thing. Same
That's
thing
the
New Year.
remaining. Yeah. And my reason for that is because I believe Boston gets bored. I do. I believe Boston gets really bored. It's like, okay, they'll lose a BS game like I believe they lost to Chicago a couple weeks ago at the crib. They'll lose a game to somebody that they have no business losing to. I watched them play Sunday against the Sixers. I seen that they were down 26 points just for them to come back to win the game by 10.
They do be playing around.
They get bored, man. And it's as much as I want to throw the New York Knicks in the mix, I do. Just because they're top heavy.
Yeah.
They're top heavy. But 4 out of their 5 starting players are top 5 in minutes played currently.
Thibodeau gonna run them into the ground.
That's Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, OG, and I believe and I believe
Mikal.
either Carl Anthony Towns or Mikal Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, that's not healthy, especially if you're looking to contend for a championship.
Agree.
So just think if you cut their minutes, let's say you cut their minutes by 10 minutes less, right? From what they've played in total. That's 40 minutes. It's 48 minutes in a game. That's damn near a whole game saved. And let's say you need that for like a game 7, actually, which is what they lost to Indiana to in last season's playoffs in the Eastern Conference semifinals. You know what I'm saying? They lose the game 7. Jalen Brunson's hurt. Josh Hart gets hurt. OG still isn't healthy. They didn't have Mikal Bridges nor Cat at the time. So it's the little things like that that matter a lot.
What about the
So
Cavs? What about the Cavs? They got the best record in the league.
regular season merchants.
You don't believe in the Cavs? You don't believe in? They just got DeAndre Hunter from the Hawks.
Which is a
Donovan
really good
Mitchell and
move.
them boys. Darius
Which is a
Garland.
really good move, by the way. It is.
It is.
I do like the DeAndre Hunter trade for them. But and also shout out Kenny Atkinson, by the way, who was the assistant at Golden State last season,
Mm-hmm.
who is now the head coach for Cleveland. He's done a phenomenal job with those guys. I'm not gonna lie. Evan Mobley, he's an all-star.
Yeah.
Who
Jared
we've
Allen
been
is
waiting.
a hooper.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Jared Allen's game. Like that team complements the well. And I mean, that's what happens when you've been playing together for years now. You have no choice but to get that chemistry together. So shout out to those guys. But I don't think they beat Boston in the 7-game series though. I don't. It's too much star power in Boston.
I don't think
for me.
so either. I thought I'd give them some love. I mean, they have been balling. They're an 82 game team. I get it.
Yeah. And with the right matchup, and you look at Cleveland last season, they went 7 with the Orlando Magic.
The Orlando Magic, a healthy Orlando Magic, they're like 2 seasons and 1 player away from being scary.
They need another.
Scary.
They need another. I don't know if it's. They might have to. They might have to trade Jalen Suggs. They need a really good point guard.
They need someone to actually run the offense.
And this is no disrespect to Jalen Suggs, who was balling out, who is one of the better young two-way players in the game today. Who actually is surprising me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking he was just going to be just a simple role player out of Gonzaga, but he's definitely exceeded my expectations. I mean, shit, he did go number 1. So, I mean, he's doing what he needs to do for that franchise. So, shout out to them. And also, he's part of the reason why, like, the Magic were still in the mix, too. Even without Paolo, without Franz. Without Franz Wagner. So, shout out to the J Suggs, man. But with the right matchup for Cleveland, they can get bounced.
Yeah. Let them play like the 76ers, catch them healthy with like Embiid and everyone healthy. They mess around and lose in the first round.
I'm not gonna lie, they can lose to the Knicks again in the first round.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go a little different. I do think Boston is I agree. They get bored. I'm gonna take Milwaukee to come out of the East.
Ooh.
I think Giannis isn't going. I think people keep forgetting the last 2 years, Giannis has been hurt. Now, I know, injuries are part of the game, but I wouldn't consider Giannis like a player that I would say is injury prone. Like, he's not Kawhi, he's not Joel Embiid, he's not Paul George. Like, it just happened to be in the playoffs he got hurt. Past 2 years. I think this year, healthy Giannis, he's not going. I think Damian Lillard is in his position now where he understands how to play with Giannis. He's cool with his role now. And again, like I said, the addition of Kyle Kuzma, you got that consistent third option now. You mix that with Brook Lopez and a lot of the young guys who are going to play defense, slash to the basket. I think Milwaukee comes out of the East this year. I think Giannis, yep. I see an upset of the Boston Celtics in the conference finals this year. I'm going to take Milwaukee to come out of the East.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot really quick. So let's say, because you have who for the West?
OKC.
Okay, so you have OKC. Does Giannis get 2 if they play OKC in the finals?
Oh man, it's hard to say. It's hard to say because it's cliche, but they gotta play the games. They gotta play the games because
They do.
after the All-Star break is where I really start like evaluating the way teams are playing. Teams are gonna win some games they shouldn't, lose some games they shouldn't, leading up to the All-Star game. After the All-Star break is where I really start to see tendencies. So it's hard to say, but if you're putting me on the spot, OKC and Milwaukee in the finals, I think Giannis gets 2. I think Giannis gets 2. I am the type of person who believes if you have the best player on the floor, you have the advantage. And I think as great as Shea is, as amazing as he's been playing, I think he's the MVP frontrunner right now. I know that's probably a hot take for some people, but I think he's the MVP frontrunner. I still think Giannis would be the best player on the floor. I think if it's Milwaukee and OKC in the finals, I think Giannis gets 2.
That actually broke my heart to hear, but I can definitely respect it though. I can respect it. I can respect it.
Okay. So we're gonna check back in. You had Dallas and the Celtics in the finals again, right? Rematch, same teams, different style. Okay, we gonna see. Y'all let us know in the comments how you think the finals are gonna go. Who's the best teams in each conference? Let us know how you feel about that. Thank you for watching another episode of The Last Word. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below so you're not missing out on any of the new content I drop on the channel. Love.